Good evening on this Thursday, the 23rd day of October 2025. Thank you for choosing Newswatch and Hope TV, the station where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Let's take a look at the day's events. President William Ruto has defended the recent amendment bills signed into law, saying they are designed to protect the nation from illegal activities that threaten public well-being and security. Speaking during the funeral of Mzee Weston Kirocho, father to Inspector General Douglas Kanja, President Ruto warned Kenyans against misinformation aimed at destabilizing the country.
Nchi haiwezi kujengwa na fujo. Nchi haiwezi kujengwa na chuki ama migawanyiko ama ukabila. We cannot build a nation that way. You know, nchi inajengwa na mpango. Sisi wote tulio nafasi ya uongozi, hakuna haja ya kuwachochea wananchi hawa.
The Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act was assented to by President Uhuru Kenyatta in May of 2018. The provisions of Section 27, which I saw even a judge of the High Court yesterday being misled by the culture of misinformation to suspend, were assented to by President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2018. The Bloggers Association of Kenya went to court in 2018. Justice Makau suspended those provisions. All the provisions of that bill or that act were constitutional. Today, another judge of the High Court has been misled by that culture of misinformation and disinformation.
Tunataka tulinde taifa letu la Kenya. You know, saa zingine tunazembea, saa ile mambo imeharibika, tunatafuta mtu wa kulaumu. Tumesema ya kwamba maneno ya religious extremism, ile ambayo inatuletea hasara kama ile tulipata kule Shakahola, lazima tuzuie. Tumesema vile vile mambo ya vijana wetu wanaangaishwa, they are being terrorized kule kwa social media, na mambo machafu, mambo ya usherati, mambo ya pornography. Hiyo pia lazima tuzuie kama serikali. Wale wanaendesha hiyo biashara ya kuumiza vijana wetu, mpaka unakuta vijana wengi wanaenda commit suicide, wanajinyonga kwa sababu ya terrorism ile iko huko ndani ya mitandao. Lazima tuwazuie hawa watu. Vile vile wale wanatumia mitandao kuendesha ugaidi, we must also stand up to them and protect the nation.
On a similar breath, the government has dismissed claims by some opposition leaders that the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act is aimed at curtailing dissenting voices. In a press address, government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura insisted that the act aims at improving the government's capacity in combating certain vices conducted through social media space. The act has also been hailed as a move towards reducing online fraud, terrorism, propaganda, and extremism.
And finally, is to say that the government wants to strongly condemn those people who are using the social media to body shame individuals based on their looks and how God has created them. It's extremely uncouth, it is uncalled for, and those so-called challenges on TikTok and other forums are really out of taste, they're in bad manners, and it reflects very badly on those who are doing them in terms of their upbringing. On the Virtual Assets Service Providers Act, this law establishes Kenya's first comprehensive framework to regulate virtual assets and cryptocurrencies, positioning the country as a regional leader in financial innovation while safeguarding consumers from fraud, money laundering, and terrorism financing. It also responds to the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, recommendation to remove Kenya from the grey listing by improving compliance with international anti-money laundering standards. This is very, very clear, so that we can have physical location of those who are doing cryptocurrencies and all of that, so that they are traceable, and to avoid people who just disappear thinly in the internet.
Meanwhile, on the Privatization Act, government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura has clarified that the law strengthens oversight rather than weakening it. He said any sale of state assets will now require approval from both the Cabinet and the National Assembly.
On the Privatization Act, contrary to claims that the law allows the executive to sell public assets unchecked, the new act actually strengthens rather than weakens oversight and accountability. It expressly requires approval by both the Cabinet and the National Assembly before any government asset or shareholding in a state corporation can be sold. Additionally, the law introduces multiple layers of scrutiny, including publication of proposed privatization methods, whether through initial public offers, IPOs, public tenders, or preemptive rights, ensuring transparency and preventing the unilateral disposal of national assets. The 2025 law replaces the 2023 Privatization Act, which was declared unconstitutional by the
And becoming of a leader, Governor Mbarire said the UDA party will soon communicate its next steps regarding the Nyeri's governor's comments.
Well, let me say this, that number one, we did release a statement. I personally released a statement as a chair of UDA the day before yesterday in the evening, and we disassociated ourselves as the party with his statement and his sentiments. And we cautioned him and said that he should surely follow the ideology of UDA, which is to unite Kenya. We are waiting to take some action at the party level. Now that he has been called by NCIC, we have thought it right that he's actually dealing with the right institution that is concerned with the kind of statements he came up with. But we should surely be communicating to him shortly on our position as a party with regard to his statements. But we completely, as a party, disassociate ourselves with his sentiment and his statements in Nyeri.
On at least 100,000 youth aged 18 to 29 and people living with disabilities aged 35 years and below start the verification process for those who applied for the Nyota grant starting tomorrow to ensure that only those who qualify have access of the 50,000 grant. Addressing the press earlier Thursday, CS Wycliffe Oparanya noted that those who qualify must be trained before the government disburses the funds.
The fiscal verification exercise will be undertaken countrywide. Tomorrow, Friday, the 24th October 2025, and this exercise will be carried all over the 290 constituencies at their headquarters. It is very important that you know this exercise will be the headquarters of the 290 constituencies. The fiscal verification exercise, therefore, seeks to confirm the authenticity and eligibility of the applicants, ensuring that only genuine and qualified youths are selected to benefit. Applicants will be required to present their national ID, and persons with disabilities must provide their disability identification cards for authentication. The entrepreneurship aptitude test remains a mandatory requirement for the final selection into the business support components. Once the fiscal verification exercise concludes, the NYOTA project team will analyze the results and the entrepreneurship aptitude test performance reports over the next 3 days. The 3 days, that is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and the final list of successful beneficiaries will then be informed through their mobile numbers. And thereafter, they will be invited for induction and training session to prepare the successful applicants for the business startup phase.
And on that note, let's take a short break on Newswatch tonight. Plenty more is coming up on the other side.
Every man dreams of a restful retirement, but few truly prepare for it. This Friday on Men on Record, George Gishiru hosts financial therapist George Oyuga as they unpack practical insights on preparing for retirement. Tune in live at 7 p.m. on Hope TV, Hope FM, and across all our social platforms, and learn how to turn your golden years into years of grace. Brought to you by Brookshine Schools, focused towards excellence. Men on Record, it's a man thing.
Hello there, my name is Beatrice Nudi, a host on Hope at Dawn with George Gishiru. Thank you so very much for your support and your loyal viewership. How is the signal in your area? We would love to know. Please do scan the QR code that you see on your screen so that we can know how to serve you better.
Hope TV is where you look. Selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in.
Welcome back. A Hamisi court has found Archbishop John Mweresa of the African Israel Nineveh Church, or rather Nineveh Church, guilty of fraudulently acquiring church land in Jabrok, Vihiga County. Resident Magistrate Nicodemus Musetti ruled that there was enough evidence showing the Archbishop forged land ownership documents. Mweresa will remain in custody after the court denied him bail pending sentencing on November 10th, 2025. The case has been in court for nearly 15 years following a land dispute that led to the closure of the church and the deaths of over 10 people in violent clashes.
Accordingly, I hereby order that the accused is bound been and is hereby cancelled. He shall be remanded in custody forthwith. I order for a sentence report mentioned for sentencing on 10th day of November.
The county governments of Meru, Embu and Tharaka Nithi have today signed a memorandum of understanding to develop a joint approach to waste management. The agreement includes plans to set up a recycling plant that will turn waste into cash. Speaking during the signing ceremony in Kathwana, Tharaka Nithi County, Host Governor Muthomi Njuki said the three counties generate about 1,350 tons of waste daily, and it was time to turn that waste into a source of income. According to the governors, about 57% of the waste is organic and can be converted into fertilizer, creating thousands of job opportunities for the youth. Governors Muthomi Njuki, Cecil Mbarire, and Isaac Mutuma pledged to work together to boost regional development and strengthen their competitive edge.
We will be creating jobs for people, and creating jobs in Kenya today is the greatest thing any government can do, because we have a serious problem of unemployment. It does not have to be a white-collar job. It can only be a job irrespective of whether you put on a tie or not, if it puts bread on the table. And we believe the value chain we are about to create, right from the collection to logistics to conversion into useful products, all that value chain has exchange for money.
Some people think that the waste is of no value, but it is transformed and also mean valuable things which can bring a better life to our people.
The issue of waste management is not a simple one. Counties across the country are grappling with how to sort waste management. Why? Because before, our towns were small. You just needed to pick the waste, go and burn in some fields, and you're sorted. But now we are collecting tons and tons of waste every day, cleaning our towns. The people where those towns are happy that the towns are clean, but they don't even know where it is we take that waste. I can see my chief officer public health smiling because he knows the headache we've had to deal with in Embu.
A new study by the Aga Khan University's Graduate School of Media and Communications has revealed that media coverage of sexual and gender-based violence and femicide in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania often fail to hold perpetrators accountable. The report, titled Media Framing of Sexual and Gender-Based Violence and Femicide in East Africa, analyzed more than 1,200 news stories published between January 2024 and April 2025. It found that only 3% of stories focused on perpetrators, while most emphasized event-driven narratives and official resources. The report calls on media houses to institutionalize gender desks, promote gender-sensitive journalism, and collaborate with academia, policymakers, and civil society to strengthen accountability and justice.
And I like the way the recommendations were categorized. I think we had some...
Now in business, Standard Chartered has announced road closures and traffic diversions ahead of the 22nd edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. The closures will run from midnight to 1:30 p.m. to ensure the safety of runners and road users during the event. This year's race will start at Uhuru Gardens along Langata Road, with runners taking a scenic route along the Southern Park. The 5-kilometer family fun run will end on the Southern Bypass, while other race categories will finish at Uhuru Gardens. With over 30,000 participants expected, the Nairobi Traffic Department has issued several diversions to minimize disruption. Nairobi Traffic Commandant Joseph Chirchir has assured the public that adequate measures are in place to facilitate smooth traffic flow and public safety.
On Saturday, there are a couple of things that we'll be finalizing. Key amongst them is obviously closing the road that will be done from around midnight on Sunday, so that we can then be able to set up the route, ensure that we have adequate supplies, and just doing the final touches. So in terms of the start times, we anticipate to flag off the first race at 5:45. That's a 21 kilometers wheelchair race, and that will be followed by the full marathon at 6 a.m., the 21 kilometers at 7:20, and 10 kilometers, and then the last race will be the 10 kilometers, the 5 kilometers family run. So that the races that we have, we definitely have 7 categories, which includes the corporate relay and the CEO challenge. What I would encourage Nairobians is to ensure that we follow the traffic marshals, the directions from the traffic police.
We intend to close the roads, the Southern Bypass road, that's from Olesereni all the way to Kikuyu. We intend to close the road at midnight of 25th. Vehicles that are supposed to use a Southern Bypass, as from Olesereni, we will divert to use Mombasa Road all the way to Uhuru Highway and to their own destinations. Those coming from Kikuyu direction, we will use the other main highway, because the road will be under closure. The people that are supposed to come to the Standard Chartered Marathon, we are advising them that the public parking will be at Langata Primary School, so that we utilize the ground for the other purposes. We will deploy enough personnel to direct the vehicles and also the human traffic that are destined to the function.
In a strategic move to accelerate East Africa's vibrant last-mile economy, Rubis Energy Kenya and Castrol have launched Castrol Power One, a high-performance motorcycle lubricant engineered for the demanding conditions of commercial riders across Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. The product introduces advanced technology that delivers excellent performance of motorbikes, smoother rides, and improved durability, helping riders get the best from every journey. To support offering live product demonstrations, engine checks, and hands-on maintenance clinics for local rider groups.
We focus on the Boda Boda because we believe they are a big part of the economy in Africa in general and in East Africa in particular. And we also realize that not a lot of people are taking care of them in terms of listening to their needs and helping them with their needs. The life of a Boda Boda is very complicated because you work day and night, so different temperature. You have to go duties and with lots of pressure on the engine. If you bring them a lubricant that can help to increase the interval of drainage in the lubricants, they are making savings. They are saving that they will not see on a daily basis, yes. But at the end of the month, when they make all the calculations, we can realize that thanks to this lubricant, which is just an annexure of that business, they can go quicker, go better, and have a healthier bike. Castrol is a very well-known brand of lubricants worldwide. Okay, and Rubis is a big brand of fuel, okay? And we also want to develop ourselves. So the lubricants and the fuel sales are a normal way of partnering. In the economy of Boda Boda, every cost is important. So, but the Boda Boda driver is not stupid. He also knows that no decision is a risk.
Hi, my name is Sharon Aitore Wangenye. I really honor you and appreciate you. We'd love to know how you're receiving us, how your reception is in terms of the quality of the video and the audio as well. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. Thank you and God bless you.
Every man dreams of a restful retirement, but few truly prepare for it. This Friday on Men a Man Thing.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Now in AFCON qualifier against the Gambia. Head coach Beldine Odimba says the team is fully focused and ready to secure a positive result as they continue their push for a place in next year's Women's Africa Cup of Nations. She has called on fans to show up and give them their much-needed support. The match is scheduled to kick off tomorrow evening, 4 p.m. at Nyayo National Stadium, with Kenya looking to capitalize on home.
Mood iko juu camp, ukiangalia wachezaji ready, kila mtu ana fight na kila namba iko na kila mtu yenye iko na hiyo capability ya do everything yenye akiekwa mtu yote akipewa hiyo opportunity atapeana their best.
Ready ku lose, so tumejiandaa vyema. Kwa ma fans, game si easy but kwetu tumeichukulia itakuwa easy, so fan wakuje watushabikie venye huwa wanakuja kushabikia boys. Wasituache sisi kama wanadada, tunawahitaji kesho waje kwa wingi.
FKF President Hussein Mohamed has officially opened the 4th edition of the Africa Football Business Summit today in Mombasa. The summit provides a vital platform for stakeholders to share ideas and forge partnerships aimed at transforming and growing football across the continent.
My message really today is about the investments that we have to make in football for the African continent and for Kenya in particular. My focus as the president of the federation will be to invest in youth football. A lot of focus will go into youth football in the coming days. We are going to invest heavily also in data, analytics, but most importantly in governance structures.
Kenya football is in good hands. I've had the honor and the privilege to sit with Hussein over the last year or so to discuss football, global football, but also Kenya football. And I'm certain that we're going to see over the next couple of years the continued development and growth of the game in Kenya.
And over 200 golfers from across the country are expected to tee off this Saturday at the Vet Lab Sports Club in Nairobi for the 25th leg of the KCB East Africa Golf Tour. The top team from the event will secure a place in the grand finale set for December 5th, 2025 at a venue yet to be announced. KCB will also host a caddy tournament at Vet Lab on October 27th, followed by another at Miga Golf course next month as part of efforts to make the 2025 edition inclusive for all. And we have come to the end of Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. God willing, see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the day's news and today's conundrum. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Have a good night.